The unexpected threat. It was a calm, ordinary morning in a quiet neighborhood of Washington, D.C. People moved about their routines, depositing money, paying bills, and running small errands. Sunlight filtered gently through the tall bank windows, casting a warm glow over polished floors. The soft hum of air conditioning and faint background music added to the peaceful atmosphere. No one could have imagined that within minutes, fear and chaos would erupt here. Inside the bank, customers chatted quietly, waited in lines, or counted cash at the counters. Children played nervously near their parents, unaware of the tension building outside the room of safety. Suddenly, the front doors burst open. 3 masked robbers stormed in, weapons raised, their steps heavy and threatening. "Everyone down on the floor," one yelled. The command was sharp, demanding, and terrifying. Panic swept through the bank. People screamed, some froze, and parents instinctively pulled their children close. The bank manager, Miriam, ducked behind a counter, trying to remain calm while shielding others. The robbers barked demands, threatening anyone who moved too slowly. "All the money now! Don't test us!" Their voices echoed through the room, sharp and unforgiving. Fear clutched everyone's hearts. My heart pounded. My wife, Sarah, was inside. I grabbed my phone and dialed 911, but the line was busy. Each passing second felt like an eternity. The police assured me they were negotiating, but the robbers refused to cooperate. Waiting seemed helpless. My instincts screamed that I had to act. I had to protect Sarah, no matter the risk. At that moment, a German shepherd appeared at the door. Its steps were calm but deliberate. Its eyes scanned the room with sharp intelligence and courage. This was no ordinary dog. It moved straight toward Sarah, as though it instinctively knew she needed protection. The robbers noticed the dog and laughed at first, but their laughter died quickly when they realized this was no ordinary pet. The dog's stance was commanding, its low growl warning them silently. Fear crept into their faces. The hostages watched in awe. Sarah's eyes widened. Hope surged through her. This loyal animal was more than a dog. It was a protector, willing to risk everything for their safety. Its presence changed the room. Fear still lingered, but courage began to grow. With a sudden, precise movement, the dog knocked over a small desk, startling the robbers. Their focus wavered. For the first time, it seemed as if someone inside the bank could challenge the threat and protect the innocent. From outside, I felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe this dog could be the hero. Its bravery and loyalty had already begun to shift the balance. This moment, filled with courage and unwavering loyalty, was proof that true heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they have 4 legs. Courage in the face of fear. Inside the bank, the tension had reached its peak. Every second seemed to stretch into an eternity. The masked robbers moved with aggression, shouting demands and brandishing their weapons, while hostages huddled together, trembling with fear. Among them, Sarah crouched behind a counter, her heart racing, her hands shaking, yet her resolve holding her in place. She knew that panicking would only make things worse. From outside, I stood with my phone pressed tightly to my ear, trying desperately to speak to the police. The line crackled, voices overlapping, and for a moment, I feared no help would arrive in time. Every second brought dread, yet I felt a flicker of determination. Waiting passively wasn't an option. I had to hope for a miracle. That miracle arrived in the form of a German shepherd. Its name was Rex, and the dog's powerful strides, poised and decisive, immediately drew everyone's attention. Its eyes, sharp and unwavering, scanned the room. There was no fear in them, only a sense of purpose and courage. The robbers sneered at first, thinking this dog posed no real threat. But Rex's growl, low and commanding, silenced their arrogance. He moved closer to the hostages, particularly to Sarah, positioning himself as their shield. Every step was precise, calculated, and full of silent authority. Sarah's fear began to mingle with awe. She realized that Rex was more than just a dog. He was a protector, a brave soul ready to risk everything for those in danger. His presence was electrifying, instilling hope where despair had ruled moments ago. Suddenly, Rex made a calculated move. With a swift nudge of his paw, he knocked over a small desk, the loud crash reverberating through the bank. The robbers recoiled, startled, their focus shaken. Their carefully planned intimidation faltered, leaving them vulnerable. The hostages' eyes followed Rex, a mixture of relief and admiration swelling in their hearts. From outside, I could feel the shift even through the glass doors. Hope ignited within me. This dog, this unlikely hero, was changing the course of the day. With each measured step and courageous act, Rex demonstrated that bravery wasn't measured by size or weaponry, but by the willingness to protect others. The robbers now hesitated, unsure of their next move. Rex's courage had unsettled them, His loyalty made their threats seem hollow. Sarah, hidden behind the counter, whispered a silent prayer, her heart filled with renewed hope. In that moment, fear and courage collided. Rex stood as a living testament that true heroism isn't about overwhelming force but about steadfast loyalty and selfless bravery. Each breath he took inspired those around him to believe in the power of courage, even in the face of danger. And as Rex held his ground, the hostages began to understand that salvation could come in the most unexpected form: a four-legged hero, fearless and unwavering, standing between life and danger. The moment of bravery. The bank had fallen into a tense stillness. Fear had gripped every heart, yet amid the chaos, a spark of hope had begun to flicker. Rex, the German Shepherd, stood alert, every muscle tense, his eyes scanning the masked robbers. The hostages watched him, unsure whether to be terrified or to find courage in his unwavering stance. Sarah, hidden behind a counter, had her eyes fixed on the dog. Her heart pounded, but she felt a strange sense of relief. She realized that Rex wasn't just any dog. He was their protector, a guardian willing to face danger head-on. Every movement he made spoke of courage and loyalty, qualities that humans often struggle to embody in moments of crisis. The robbers, initially amused by the dog, now felt a creeping fear. They tried to keep their composure, but Rex's presence alone was unnerving. His low, controlled growl echoed through the bank, a warning that he would not back down. One robber's hand trembled over his weapon, the confidence in their plan beginning to crumble. Rex took a deliberate step forward. Every movement was precise, calculated to create disruption without causing unnecessary harm. He brushed past a small desk, sending papers and pens crashing to the floor. The loud clatter startled the robbers, drawing their focus away from the hostages for a brief but crucial moment. It was enough for Sarah to catch her breath, enough for the hostages to realize that something, was fighting on their behalf. From outside, I could feel the shift even through the glass walls. My hope grew. This dog, with no instructions or plan, was exhibiting a bravery that surpassed human expectation. It wasn't just courage, it was a sense of responsibility, a loyalty so profound that nothing else seemed to matter. Rex was their hero. The robbers' focus faltered further. They whispered urgently to each other, confusion etched on their faces. They had underestimated Rex, and now their plan was cracking. Under the pressure of a dog's fearless determination, every movement Rex made inspired the hostages to cling to hope. Then, in one swift motion, Rex moved closer to the nearest robber, his growl growing louder, more commanding. The robber flinched, dropping his weapon to the floor. A wave of relief swept through the bank, and the other robbers began to hesitate, unsure of their next move. It was a turning point. One dog had altered the balance of fear and courage entirely. Sarah's eyes welled with tears, not from fear this time, but from gratitude and awe. The hostages, once paralyzed with terror, now dared to hope. Rex, standing proudly, had become a symbol of bravery, showing that heroism isn't measured by size or strength, but by courage, loyalty, and the willingness to protect others at all costs. In that tense, heart-pounding moment, fear and hope collided. Rex had proven that heroes come in all forms, sometimes with 4 legs, a brave heart, and eyes that refused to yield. The first glimmer of victory. The atmosphere inside the bank was changing. Fear still lingered, but hope had begun to take root. Rex, the German Shepherd, had taken command of the room, not through violence, but through sheer presence, courage, and unwavering loyalty. The robbers, once confident and threatening, were now visibly shaken, unsure how to respond to the fearless dog standing in their path. Sarah, crouched behind a counter, could barely believe her eyes. This dog, so loyal and brave, was more than a protector. He was a symbol of hope in a room consumed by terror. Every small movement Rex made was precise and intentional, demonstrating that he understood the gravity of the situation. Rex's gaze locked onto the nearest robber. With a swift, decisive motion, he knocked over a small desk, creating a loud crash that echoed through the bank. The robbers flinched, taken aback by the sudden disruption. Their focus wavered, their previously unshakable confidence faltering under the silent authority of a dog who refused to back down. The hostages' hearts lifted slightly. The possibility of survival felt tangible for the first time. From outside, I watched anxiously through the glass doors. Every second that Rex held the robbers at bay was a lifeline. His courage inspired not just the hostages, but also me from the other side of the doors. It was proof that heroism isn't always human. It can come from loyalty, intelligence, and the willingness to protect others at all costs. The robbers began to whisper among themselves, their uncertainty growing with each movement of the dog. They had underestimated Rex, and now their plan was beginning to crumble. Each cautious step they took revealed hesitation, and with hesitation comes vulnerability. Rex used every advantage, his speed, his intelligence, and his presence, to maintain control. Sarah whispered a silent prayer, her hands gripping the edge of the counter. She could sense that something extraordinary was happening. This wasn't just survival. It was a lesson in bravery. Rex's actions had shifted the balance in the room, and the hostages now had a reason to believe that they might get out unharmed. Rex's growl resonated through the room as he moved closer to the most aggressive robber, his body low, eyes unflinching. The robber's hand trembled over his weapon, his plan collapsing under the weight of the dog's bravery. In that precise moment, the room seemed to exhale collectively, the first real glimmer of victory shining through the fear and tension. It became clear fear could be confronted, hope could be nurtured, and bravery could come from the most unexpected place. Rex, standing tall and alert, had become the symbol of courage that the hostages so desperately needed. In the face of danger, one loyal heart was enough to change everything. The bank was no longer just a scene of terror. It was a stage for heroism, led by a four-legged guardian with a heart full of bravery. The moment of breakthrough. Inside the bank, time seemed to stretch, each second heavy with tension and uncertainty. Fear still lingered, but hope was beginning to shine through. Rex, the German Shepherd, had become the center of attention, his presence commanding both caution and awe. Every step he took, every careful movement, radiated courage and unwavering loyalty. The robbers, once confident and intimidating, were now faltering. Their threats sounded hollow, their hands trembled over weapons, and hesitation replaced the boldness they had shown minutes earlier. Their meticulous plan was unraveling, all because of a dog whose bravery could not be measured by size or strength alone. Rex had created a disruption, an opening for hope that the hostages desperately needed. Sarah, still crouched behind the counter, watched in disbelief and relief. Fear was slowly giving way to gratitude. This dog was not just an animal, he was a protector, a guardian willing to risk everything for the safety of others. Her whispered prayers mingled with tears of relief. Rex advanced deliberately toward the nearest robber, his low growl filling the room. The man flinched, and his weapon slipped to the floor. The other robbers froze, their confidence crumbling as they realized their intimidation tactics were failing. In that instant, the room shifted from fear to hope, a change ignited entirely by the courage of one loyal dog. Outside, I watched through the glass, my heart pounding with awe. Rex's bravery was extraordinary. He was not only acting instinctively, he was demonstrating intelligence, strategy, and loyalty in the most extreme situation. Every movement he made was a lesson in courage, proving that heroes do not always wear capes. Sometimes, they have four legs, a steady gaze, and a heart full of determination. The hostages, once paralyzed by terror, dared to peek out from behind counters. Some even allowed themselves cautious smiles, inspired by Rex's unwavering bravery. The robbers hesitated, unsure of their next move. Their plan, once dominant, was collapsing under the force of a hero who relied not on weapons, but on courage, intelligence, and loyalty. Rex continued to move strategically, keeping the robbers off balance while shielding the hostages. Fear no longer dominated the room. Courage was steadily taking its place. Every step he took inspired those around him, showing that bravery can change the course of events in the most dangerous circumstances. This was the breakthrough moment. One courageous heart, a German Shepherd, had created a chance for survival and hope. The balance had shifted, and the bank was no longer a place of terror. It had become a stage for heroism, led by a protector whose bravery inspired everyone to believe in hope again. Triumph and reflection. The chaos inside the bank had finally subsided. The robbers had been disarmed, and were now under the watchful eyes of the arriving police. But the real hero of the day was not wearing a uniform. It was Rex, the German Shepherd, whose courage and loyalty had saved every life inside. He stood proudly in the center of the room, his posture alert, his gaze steady. Every person in the bank looked at him with awe, gratitude, and admiration. Sarah emerged from behind the counter, her eyes filled with tears of relief. She knelt beside Rex, gently patting his head and whispering words of thanks. The fear that had gripped her moments before was now replaced with deep gratitude. Rex had not just protected her, he had protected everyone inside, standing as a guardian when human courage alone might have faltered. I watched from outside, my heart swelling with pride and relief. The bravery displayed by Rex was extraordinary. He had faced danger head-on, using intelligence, strategy, and sheer courage. He had shown that heroism isn't always defined by size or weaponry. It is measured by loyalty, determination, and the willingness to act when others are in peril. the hostages slowly began to emerge from their hiding spots, each one expressing gratitude toward the four-legged hero. Children ran to Rex, hugging his legs, while adults smiled and offered gentle pats. For everyone in the room, this German Shepherd had become a symbol of hope and courage, a living testament that bravery can come in the most unexpected forms. Even the robbers, now subdued and handcuffed, had no choice but to acknowledge the dog's courage. Their plan had completely collapsed, under the unyielding bravery of a creature they had underestimated. Rex had not only protected the innocent, he had restored a sense of safety and calm in a room that had been consumed by fear moments ago. As the police led the robbers away, the atmosphere shifted from tension to reflection. Every person inside the bank carried a silent lesson about courage, loyalty, and heroism. Rex had reminded everyone that real strength comes from standing firm in the face of danger, protecting those who cannot protect themselves, and acting with unwavering dedication. That day, a dog had taught a profound lesson. True heroism is not measured by weapons or authority, but by heart, loyalty, and bravery. Rex's actions had changed lives, inspired hope, and proven that courage, no matter the form it takes, can save the day. The bank, once a scene of terror, had transformed into a sanctuary of gratitude and admiration. Rex, the brave German Shepherd, had earned his place in the hearts of everyone present, a hero whose story would be remembered forever.